As far as I remember, King Faisal was crying talking about Al-Quds when Al-Quds was burnt, when the masjid was burnt, right? He was crying. There is a very famous khutbah when he was talking and he started crying. And he said, Muslims have to launch or they have to go and do jihad fi sabilillah. This is King Faisal in the 60s talking. Was he sincere about this? Or was these were crocodile tears? Can you say that? Can I say that? No, right? The point is, who is actually actively harming the Muslims in the Middle East? I can see two elephants in the room. One is the Zionists. Everyone hates them. For some reason, Iran is a hero. Okay, and that elephant, as soon as you mention that elephant, people start talking about goats and deers and rabbits.
That's because of at least they have taken some
what they want us to do is ignore the elephant, talk about the rabbits, talk about the deers and the goats and the mongrels and all the. You know, the thing is, Iran has been made a monster. Iran has been given this respite by these Western powers to be right in the middle of the Middle East, to bully the Arabs. The Arabs are now stuck between a rock and a hard place. You have Israel on the one side and you have Iran behind them, which is a hostile enemy. By constitution, Iran wants to take all of the Middle East for oil, for spreading Shiaism, for spreading its own religion, for stretching throughout the Muslim territory in the Middle East and beyond, possibly. Okay, they want to acquire nuclear weapons so that they can bully all the Arabs in the region. So it's a very dirty game that's taking place. No one is free. No one is free of fault. No one is free of blame. I'm making this very clear. But there are some who are bigger culprits, visibly, than others.
Would you not give credit to them?
Credit for what?
I credit for bombing, say, Tel Aviv. Nobody else could do. And there's damage done.
China can do it.
But
Russia can do it. Because they don't have any incentives. At the moment, they don't. Why? If China, let's say, if China was to bomb Tel Aviv, do you want China to be a Muslim hero? Would you cheer for China? Let's say Modi from India decides to bomb Tel Aviv. Yeah. Are we going to cheer for Modi? Are we going to walk around with No. Are we going to walk around with saffron flags?
No, saffron.
Oh, no.
We're not going to do that. However,
so why Iran? Why Iran?
For example,
Modi and his government have not killed more Muslims than Iran has. That's true. Then why do you come and talk to me like this? That what you have to give credit?
No. Well,
credit for what? Killing Muslims?
I wasn't aware Iran killed Muslims. Who did they kill? I wasn't aware.
How old are you? Do you watch news? Watch news? You know about Syria? You know what happened in Syria?
Iraq and all that. Yeah, they have got a history of.
Iran kept Bashar al-Assad in power for 10 more years. And Bashar was actively dropping barrel bombs on densely populated. Sorry? Iran and Putin, yeah? Whoever was in the pot.
I'd like to add something, including Palestinians. A lot of Palestinians in Syria were killed by Assad.
Sorry?
I said a lot of Palestinians in Syria were killed by Assad's regime.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that.
In Iraq, the same thing. Palestinians are Sunnis.
Right, yeah.
Palestinians are Sunnis. And my question is, why do the Iranians feel so strongly about Palestinians? Because they're carrying the Palestinian flag all over the world. Do they actually care about Palestine? They would say, yes, we do. Palestine is special. They are very oppressed. They are our brothers and sisters. We feel for them. They are oppressed. Okay? So why don't you have the same feelings for Syrians? They might turn around and say, no, Palestinians are special because they are the defenders of Al-Quds, Masjid al-Aqsa. But you don't believe Masjid al-Aqsa is in Al-Quds. The Shias don't believe that the current mosque compound is Masjid al-Aqsa. They believe it's in the fourth heaven. So they don't even believe it's a holy site. They don't believe it's a holy site. Their holy sites are in Iraq, in Najaf, okay, in Qum and Mashhad and all these places, okay? So why are you fighting for Palestinians? It's just a smoke screen. It's a pretext to gain more territory, to claim sympathy, to claim support from the rest of the Muslim Ummah, because the Iranian establishment and their proxies, they know that the only way to gain credibility and and some level of respect from the Muslims around the world is to Palestine, 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 Gaza, Gaza, Gaza.
If that's the case,
why is it that the Muslim Brotherhood issued a statement, I believe a couple of weeks ago, praising Iran for fighting for Palestine?
Right.
Because they issued a statement.
By the way, she's been sent.
Yeah, I know. They issued a statement 2 weeks ago. She's just a
When they see me, for some reason they just come like, yeah, it's all these.
But why is it they issued such a statement? Is it the Muslim Brotherhood, the organization themselves? Because I saw a statement on Twitter about it.
I think
What about Muslim Brotherhood?
They were praising the Iranian regime
Yeah, it's politics.
defending
It's,
Palestine.
it's politics. If you ask the people of Gaza on the streets, they will tell you the same thing I'm telling you. We don't care about Iran. Iran is the enemy. Look what they did to our brothers and sisters in Syria. If Iranians had Gaza, if they occupied Gaza, what religion do you think they will impose on the people? Thank you. Yeah, you will have black flags, you will have temple worship, you will have people crawling on, you will have people striking their cheeks and doing those flipping satanic rituals you see in Iraq and Pakistan and all over the world, where they're stabbing. No, smacking is now light. Smacking is 7-Up light. I'm talking about intense now. They are going with chains and knives and all sorts of evil stuff. Satanic rituals. There are people, white people, those right-wing channels on Twitter, they are posting these guys, oh, this is Islam, look, this is Islam, this is in London, this is in New York. And they are showing these people with striking the cheeks and the chest. And we have nothing to do with them. They're not even 2% here. But because they come out and they want to do these evil things in public, people take the images, and those gullible masses here in Britain, in the US, you know, this cowboy in Texas doesn't know who these people are. He's looking at these people on his phone and saying, Ya Hussein, Ya Ali, Ya Hussein. And they're beating their chests and they're stabbing themselves. They think these are Muslims.
like you said, just said that. And just one quick question. Like you just said, what Brotherhood said was politics.
Sorry?
What Brotherhood said was mere
Politics.
Okay, and also
Politics.
equally in the historically, Saudi at one point.
And even if they mean it, they're wrong.
Yeah, if
Why are the Muslim Brotherhood, why do they speak for us? They are speaking with themselves. They can hold on to their opinions until the cows come home. We don't have to agree with them.
Is it possible to unite politically?
Same. Politics. Sorry?
Is it then
Yeah.
sensible to unite politically between all these groups, where say Muslim Brotherhood, Akhwanin, and all, and even including Iranian government? Because
This is a separate
everybody has
question.
got the same
This is
goal,
a separate
liberating
question.
Palestine or-
This is a separate question. Can we unite with Iran or
Exactly.
Hezbollah or the Houthis politically? The question is how. What are the details? Who leads the armies? Okay, who has the weapons? Because these people, every time they come in with their weapons, they occupy territory, they prop up their temples, they start forcing the people to accept their religion, like what happened in Iran 500 years ago. Iran was a 90% Sunni country until the Safavids came in and they massacred, they committed genocide of Iran. First of all, they committed genocide of the ulama. All the Sunni ulama were completely decimated. They were massacred. Why? Because they were standing up to this new threat. Okay, and then they forced the entire population. Over 200 years, the Iranians became Shia because they lost their touch from. They lost their scholars. They lost their books. Anyone found to be possessing Sunni books would be crucified. This was Iran. Once upon a time, people don't know history. People forget history. People have forgotten recent history. Syria, and they're cheering for Iran because if tomorrow Modi sent rockets to Tel Aviv, are you going to cheer for Modi? You're gonna wave saffron flags? You're not going to do that.
All right, what about Syria, the issue of normalization, with Israel, like with Jalani, Ahmed Shab, he's saying that basically part of the normalization deal with the Israelis, you have to fight Iran, Hezbollah, and in Islamic Jihad in Palestine. So, what's the take on Jalani?
I don't know what Jalani.
Is it a tactical?
People accuse when we talk about Syria, they immediately jump to Jalani. Okay, Julani is one person.
No, I mean,
We don't know what he is. We don't know who he is. We will have to see in the coming days, in the coming years, if he stays in power, okay, how he will behave, what government he's going to make, how is he going to run affairs. At the moment, he just took over, right? And these Iranian shills, these Hezbollah propagandists and Iranian shills online, they want Julani to come in and have a paradise made immediately in 5 days or in 1 week. They want him to have nuclear weapons. They want him to have a completely working military. They want him to start attacking Israel straight away. That's what they want, which they couldn't do for 50 years. Assad regime was in power for 50 years.
No, but what I'm saying
Hafez al-Assad came to power in the early 70s, 1971, if I'm not mistaken, right? And his son lost power last year. Yes? 50 years. This axis of resistance, okay, what was it doing? And amazingly, the Israelis waited for 50 years to bomb their military installations. Israelis left Assad regime with all that military prowess, with all that military equipment untouched for 50 years. As soon as these guys, the so-called rebels come in and they free Syria from the Rafida, from the Iranians and the proxies and Bashar, when they free Syria, the Israelis come into action. Okay, now these guys have come to power. We cannot leave these weapons in their hands. Weapons were in the hands of the resistance axis, which was actually an axis of Israeli facilitation. They were actually a buffer zone between the Sunnis and the Israelis, right? Syria is a huge territory, very important land. So Israelis had their puppets there, this Bashar, who, you know, it's one thing to say death to America, death to Israel, which is what the Iranians always chant here. But that death actually means death to the Sunnis of Iraq, the Sunnis of Syria, the Sunnis of Yemen. It doesn't actually mean, when the mullahs in Iran, when they say Marg Bar Israel in Persian, they actually mean the Muslims. They don't mean, because how many Israelis, their generals or their military have they actually killed or targeted?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Okay, so the point is, this is all a game. This is a dirty game.
normalization with Israel. Jordan,
We absolutely abhor that. Anyone normalizing ties with Israel, with the genocidal, it's like normalizing with Shaitan, Iblis, right? Anyone who is normalizing ties with Israel is absolutely, we absolutely hate that, we abhor that, and we condemn that. This is not the right course of action, because Israel is going to fall soon. It's going to fall. You cannot continue having committed a genocide of this scale. You cannot last, just like the Nazis, you know, they saw the peak of their power and they committed a genocide and they were no more. Israel is no more. Mark my words. Next 5 to 10 years, Israel will not be in power anymore in the Middle East, because the European masses have woken up. The Western people who were brainwashed for the last 50, 60 years into thinking that Israel is this beacon of peace and justice and democracy and morality in the Middle East, right? Now they are woken up that how can you burn children alive? How can you bury them alive? How can you send rockets into the foundations of buildings and cause the buildings and then starve them to death? Don't let medics in. Don't allow any support to get in. You are starving these people to death in front of the whole world. You cannot last. The Romans, they fell because they started committing atrocities. Okay, the Egyptian pharaohs, they are no more. They are gone because they did similar atrocities. The British Empire crumbled. It fell because it committed genocides around the world. The Germans, when they came into Africa, they committed a genocide in Namibia. They couldn't hold on to Africa. Likewise, the French committed a genocide in Algeria. Okay, they could not last. Their empire fell and crumbled. It's another thing. They're still doing crime. They're still doing crimes in Africa. Then we have other examples, European examples. The Italians, the Belgians in the Congo. Okay, King Leopold and his genocide of the Congo. Then we have Italians in Libya. They put half the population of Libya into concentration camps. Could they crush the resilience of the Libyan people? Could they crush the Mujahideen in Libya? Could they rule Libya? And same in Ethiopia, right?